Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about some more positive news recently released around Tesla stock. And this time around, this news piece is actually going to be a little bit related to kind of what we discussed yesterday. So if you didn't see yesterday's news video, we talked about a recent survey regarding reliable executive cars in the UK, and the Tesla Model 3 was chosen as the #1 spot out of those 13,000 surveys delivered. So yesterday's video was all about reliability. And so like I said, the Model 3 was well known within that survey for being the #1 reliable car. And so this time around with today's news video, we're going to be referencing the topic of value. And this is a topic that I've discussed recently in the past as well, in terms of me just mentioning how I believe that the Tesla products and models are some of the most valuable products in terms of how much value you get for your money. And so this has a big relation to the stock price, of course, especially right now in its early stages of growth in the company, because if people start to realize that Teslas are seen as reliable cars, you get a lot of value for your money. And of course, it has plenty of groundbreaking revolutionary features. You have the top of the line battery efficiencies out of pretty much every other company trying to make EVs right now. And you have amazing software, and you have this advancement of full self-driving technology happening right now as well. In terms of value and getting every penny's worth of your money spent, Tesla is really up there as one of the top dogs. And I would say Tesla is the top dog in terms of one of the most affordable EVs for people out there that have good qualifications and metrics right now. You have the Rivian, of course, which I think is like $70,000 to $80,000 for the truck, and then the higher end models are going to be more expensive. Then you have the Lucid as well, and then there's a lot of other competitors. Right now there are some cheaper priced cars, but really in terms of value, Tesla is kind of similar to the iPhone. Now we understand that the iPhone does have a premium, but everyone loves the products and they're super loyal to the products for a reason, and that's because it has a fantastic user interface that people love, and they just simply love the product. It's sleek, it's modern, and it just fits in almost as a part of modern culture. And so I would say Tesla is a little bit similar to the iPhone in the sense that it is revolutionary. And like I've said in previous videos, the Tesla will change your lives forever, especially as the battery technology gets improved on even further. And of course, the software gets better with new features. And also, like I said, once full self-driving gets perfected, it's going to be huge. It will change society forever when we have robo-taxis and it no longer takes effort to actually drive. That increases productivity and of course could help with the economy as well, in which you can do more things regarding business while you're spending your time in your vehicle and it's driving for you. So this news piece today is all about the value of a Tesla and their business model. So like I said, this does relate to the stock because value, reliability, and of course features play a big role in purchasing decisions. And as production increases and as demand increases as this EV transition continues, then of course Tesla is going to continue to dominate. So anyways, if you all do enjoy the Tesla videos, please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out. But we'll go ahead and check out this news article, and then I'll expand on it a little bit more and talk about some of my perspectives on the things that it mentions. So as you can see, this is an article from Clean Technica and author Alex Voigt, and it was released on August 29th, so basically around a week ago. And I recently found this, and this article is titled "Tesla Introduced a Business Model the World Has Not Seen Before." And so the article begins by showing a chart of the change in value after 3 years for a set of different vehicles available. So for example, you have the BMW 3 Series, you have the Volvo S60, the BMW 4 Series, Infiniti, Audi, Jaguar, Audi, Alfa Romeo, and just a bunch of different models right here. And if you take a look at the decline in value over the past 3 years and you compare the #1 spot to everything else, and might I mention beforehand, the #1 spot pretty much dominates even the second place. Second place isn't even close. So just looking at the #1 spot for this, we have the Tesla Model 3 at minus 10.2% in value after 3 years. So considering that alone, just a minus 10% value price after 3 years of use or 3 years of ownership, that's actually really solid compared to, you have your typical joke about how you go to a dealership, you buy your car, as soon as you drive it off the lot, it takes like half the price off. Now, yeah, that's an exaggeration, but it legitimately does take the value off of a vehicle after you drive it off the lot and start using it. So over time, there has been this issue of vehicles not retaining their value, and it's almost like a tradition to buy a vehicle every few years. Now, for my family personally, personally, we've pretty much driven our vehicles until it runs into the ground and we need a new one. We've really gotten a lot of use out of our vehicles. I've never owned a Tesla and my family's never owned a Tesla, but I do plan on my first vehicle ever being a Tesla, hopefully the Cybertruck. So that is kind of a problem that's been in the vehicle industry for what seems like forever, and it's basically just a norm at this point where, like I said, if you buy a car and you take it off the lot, it automatically just pretty much loses some of its value. And so you don't see that consistency as much with Tesla, in which it actually retains a lot of its value compared to the rest. So, like I said with this chart right here, the number one spot with the Tesla Model 3 completely dominates the number two spot. After the number one spot, everything else is pretty close together. So, we have the Tesla Model 3 at minus 10.2% in value after 3 years. And then the second place one is the Lexus RC350 at minus 39.7%. So this is definitely a huge difference between these two. And it does once again prove that customers find a lot of value in the Tesla vehicles, even when they're on the secondary market. Now, also keep in mind that demand can play a role in this right now, where there is some demand for Tesla. We do have some wait times on different models, like with the Model Y. I think it's a 2 to 4 week wait time right now. However, regardless of that, Tesla still seems to maintain its value for a lot of its models. And so for once, at least with Teslas, customers actually benefit a lot more from buying them because they know over time they're actually going to improve and get better in comparison to pretty much every other vehicle in history that does not continue to improve over time. As we know, if you buy like a Ford F-150 that's just a ICE vehicle, it's not really going to improve over time. If anything, it's going to get worse. Whereas with Teslas, you have over-the-air updates, you have software, even improving some of the physical things, such as like increasing the speed. You can even buy upgrades as well, but a lot of the times, this stuff is free. So it's just the small improvements that keep these Tesla models relevant over the years, even if they're older models. Like, for example, if you say you have a 2018 Model 3, there's still improvements being applied over time that keeps it a little bit relevant in comparison to the 2020 Model 3. So that's a big competitive advantage that Tesla has over a lot of the rest of the vehicles. And I've heard this in the past a lot of times, but pretty much if you ask any Tesla owner, they will likely tell you that their Tesla has gotten better over time. And that's something that we simply just can't say about a lot of the vehicles that exist right now. And so I definitely would recommend checking out the rest of this article, because this really does kind of give a solid bull case as to why Tesla could be set up to dominate in the future, which I believe they likely will. But I definitely recommend reading the rest of that article because it does note a lot of different things. The Tesla ecosystem with the Powerwall, the solar panels, and the Tesla vehicle all combined and how they play a role together. It also talks about autonomy as well, but the important thing about the chart that I just showed and referenced is the fact that it shows that Tesla is providing value never seen before for a vehicle. And like I said, it improves over time, which is something that is not seen with a lot of vehicles in the past and even right now. So if you want a vehicle that has good resale value, and you also want a vehicle that improves over time, and then if we're discussing reliability as well, which we had that most recent news piece yesterday, where it seems to be common for people saying that the Model 3 is reliable, then Tesla at this point is becoming very well known for the factors that customers look for when buying a new vehicle: reliability, value, features, and improvements in innovation. And that's exactly what we're seeing with Teslas. And so this directly relates to Tesla stock, because once people start to become familiar with this, as we get more Teslas being sold and those people that own the Teslas start to tell their friend, of course, the word of mouth marketing, almost like we talk about all the time. Tesla doesn't spend money on advertising and marketing. So at this point, we have word of mouth, we have Tesla owners on YouTube, and then Tesla communities across the internet that are just sharing their experiences with the product, and they absolutely love it. And that's just because Tesla is doing something that has never really been done before, and they've revolutionized what has been kind of a boring industry over these past couple of decades with not much innovation, to be honest. And I have to tell you all, I've never really been a big fan of cars or vehicles. I've never been really interested in them as I am today because of Tesla. And so I guess I could say I'm more interested in Teslas than vehicles themselves, because Tesla has really managed to change everything, where it just stands alone on itself. compared to everything else that exists on the market right now. And that's also one of the reasons why a lot of Tesla owners feel the need to clarify that they own a Tesla and not just that they own an EV, because there's a clear difference that we understand between Teslas and an EV. So like I said, as time goes on, I think customers will continue to get even more value for their product that they're paying for, especially as efforts continue to decrease the cost of Teslas, and especially as battery efficiency start being improved and they can produce it at a larger scale, therefore making it even cheaper for them to sell to customers, which is something that Elon Musk has really emphasized in the past. He said the one thing that bothers him at this point in time is the fact that they want Teslas to be cheaper for everyone. And so I think that's what they're trying to achieve right now. That's one of their biggest bottlenecks, is affordability, and they want to drive the costs down lower. And especially as these costs start being driven down to a comparable point with a lot of the other competitors in the internal combustion engine vehicle sector, then that's really when it's a game changer, not only because the cost of the vehicles are comparable, but also simply because it's renewable energy, it's a high quality product that you get a lot of value out of, and it improves over time, which is something that we don't see most times with internal combustion engine vehicles. And then also you have the topic of the million-mile battery as well, in which your typical ICE vehicle, at least I personally expect, like, 200,000 to 300,000 miles in its lifetime, and then that's really when you end up having to get a new vehicle. I think the most mileage that my parents have ever had on a car is the one they have right now that has like 240,000 miles on it. But especially as that starts to get up there near 300,000, at least in my opinion, I think of like the end of a car's lifetime, like especially near 300,000. Sometimes some cars don't even last to 200,000. So for a million-mile battery, that would be an absolute game changer. And for the frugal people out there, some people could actually own one vehicle their whole lifetime if they get it like when they're 20 years old. I could honestly see some people just owning it for a lifetime. And then of course Tesla will likely have battery services in the future where if it does hit that million-mile range, then they can get it replaced and pay a little bit extra for that replacement. We've seen that with the Roadster in the past. I think it's like $29,000 to replace the battery for like a 40-some% improvement with the battery in the old Roadster. So I think that's something that we'll likely see in the future, but still in itself, a million miles could almost last a lifetime for some people that especially don't use cars that much. So this is a game changer in terms of value for your money. And so I just thought this news piece was interesting and of course valuable for us investors to talk about, because this will be a key component in Tesla's growth in the future. So please make sure to smash that like button if you all enjoyed the news video, and also feel free to sign up to Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with my referral link, you'll get some free stocks, and especially with Webull right now, you'll get 2 free stocks if you sign up with my link and deposit $100 into your account. Those 2 free stocks can be valued up to $1,400, so it's nice passive income, basically free money with minimum effort. But hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.